Some trips are enjoyable while they're happening, and some trips stay with you long after you come home. Not because they were the most expensive or the most luxurious or even the most exciting, but because somehow the experience just fit you. And I think that's the difference between a trip that's simply booked and one that is thoughtfully designed. Welcome to Travel Thoughtfully, the podcast, where we explore how intentional travel can create richer experiences, deeper connections, and more meaningful memories. I'm Karen Hester, travel advisor and founder of Travel Thoughtfully. In the last episode, we talked about how thoughtful planning can reduce stress and create a more enjoyable travel experience overall. Today, we're continuing that conversation by exploring the difference between simply booking a trip and thoughtfully designing an experience that truly fits the traveler. Because sometimes two people can visit the exact same destination and walk away with completely different experiences. Not because the destination changed, but because the trip itself was designed differently. Today, booking has never been easier. You can open an app, compare flights, reserve hotels, and build an itinerary in a matter of minutes. But convenience doesn't always create a meaningful experience because travel isn't just logistics. It's emotional. It's personal. It's about how the experience feels while you're living it. A thoughtfully planned trip reflects the travelers themselves, their personality, their interest, their energy level, their priorities. Some travelers love packed itineraries and nonstop activities. Others want slower mornings, meaningful conversations, and time to simply absorb where they are. Some people love structure. Others want flexibility and spontaneity. Neither approach is wrong, but I think many travelers accidentally plan trips based on what they think they're supposed to want instead of what genuinely fits them. And that's often where disappointment begins. I remember one cruise where I decided not to get off the ship during one of the port days. Originally, that wasn't the plan at all. But by that point in the trip, the idea of staying on board while most passengers explored the island sounded incredibly appealing. It ended up becoming one of the most relaxed parts of the entire cruise. The ship was quieter, peaceful, unhurried. I had space to breathe, space to decompress, space to simply enjoy where I was without feeling pressure to constantly do something. And interestingly, that's one of the moments I still remember most vividly. Not because it was exciting, but because it felt restorative. And I think that's where thoughtful travel often does. It creates experiences that emotionally fit the traveler, not just the itinerary. Because meaningful travel looks different for different people. For some, it's adventure. For others, it's culture, connection, rest, celebration, exploration, or even solitude. Thoughtful travel recognizes that there isn't one right way to experience the world. I think some of the most memorable travel experiences happen when a trip reflects who we are and what we generally need in this season of life. Not every trip needs to be transformational. Sometimes it's simply about feeling present, feeling rested, feeling connected, or feeling excited about experiencing something new. Because often, the trip that stays with us the most aren't necessarily ones where we did the most. They're the ones where something about the experience felt deeply aligned. The atmosphere, the pace, the people, the moments we didn't expect. Thoughtful travel creates spaces for those moments to happen. Not by controlling every detail perfectly, but by intentionally designing experiences that allows the traveler to feel fully engaged in the experience itself. The older I get, the more I realize thoughtful travel isn't about perfection. It's about alignment. Creating experiences that genuinely fit the traveler instead of forcing ourselves into someone else's version of the perfect trip. Because travel becomes far more meaningful when the experience actually reflects what matters to you. So today, the takeaway is this. A thoughtfully planned trip isn't just about reservations and logistics. It's about creating experiences that feel personal, memorable, and emotionally connected to the traveler themselves. Because sometimes the best trips aren't the ones that look the most impressive from the outside. They're the ones that simply feel right when you're living them. Have you ever had a travel moment that unexpectedly became one of your favorite parts of the trip? Maybe it was something unplanned, something quiet, or something completely different from what you originally expected. Sometimes those are the moments we most remember. If so, I'd love to hear from you. If this episode resonated with you, please follow, share, or leave a review wherever you listen to podcasts. Thanks for listening to Travel Thoughtfully, the podcast. At Travel Thoughtfully, our philosophy is simple. We plan, you experience. In the next episode, we're going to explore why the way you travel can become part of the experience itself and why sometimes the journey becomes just as memorable as the destination. I hope you'll join me next time.